What happens when global trade gets weaponized? US tariffs on Chinese electronics and robotics are shaking up global supply chains and forcing companies to rethink how and where they build. But can automation be the key to resilience? Are microfactories and autonomous robots replacing massive overseas plants? And what happens when politics controls production? Curiosity questions. Will automation replace globalization? Can small factories outsmart trade wars? Is this the end of Made in China? Do you want answers? Watch the full video to get them. It all began with escalating tariffs, primarily between the US and China, targeting everything from semiconductors to robotics components. For manufacturers around the world, costs soared, and delivery timelines became unpredictable. For companies relying on complex global supply chains, this was a breaking point. The risks of depending on one region became clear. That's when a new solution started gaining momentum. Automation, not as a trend, but as a strategy. Instead of relying solely on massive overseas factories, companies are increasingly turning to microfactories, compact, modular, and highly automated production units that are transforming the manufacturing landscape. These facilities are designed to be deployed close to end markets, which drastically cuts down on long shipping routes, import delays, and geopolitical risks. What makes microfactories especially powerful is their agility. They can be established in a fraction of the time it takes to build a traditional plant, and they can be reconfigured quickly to adapt to changes in product design or market demand. Whether it's shifting from one product variant to another or scaling up production, in response to local sales, these facilities can pivot fast. At the core of their efficiency is automation, robotic cells, AI-driven quality control, and real-time data systems that eliminate the need for large on-site labor forces. This approach enables companies to reshore production, bringing manufacturing back to the US or Europe, without sacrificing the speed, precision, or cost-effectiveness typically associated with overseas mega-factories. At the heart of these new microfactories are flexible robotic cells, systems that can adapt to different products with minimal downtime. Robotic arms handle assembly, packaging, and quality checks, while autonomous mobile robots, AMRs, take care of internal logistics, moving components, supplies, and finished goods without human input. The result? Small batch production at global standards, viable even in high-cost regions like the US and Europe. This shift isn't just a matter of adopting new technology. It represents a fundamental strategic pivot in the way products are made and delivered. Instead of relying on massive centralized factories located half a world away, businesses are embracing localized automation hubs, smaller, smarter, and more adaptable production centers built closer to the markets they serve. The advantages are multi-layered. First, it significantly reduces exposure to trade tensions and tariffs, which have introduced volatility into global supply chains. Second, it allows for shorter delivery cycles, meaning companies can respond faster to customer demand, reduce inventory costs, and improve time to market. Third, manufacturing locally ensures better compliance with regional regulations and labor standards, which are increasingly influencing procurement decisions. And finally, by minimizing the need for intercontinental shipping, these localized operations lead to lower carbon emissions, a major win for sustainability goals and ESG commitments. In a world where efficiency once meant scale, the new competitive edge lies in resilience, flexibility, and proximity. More and more companies are realizing that it's not about making the most. It's about making smart, stable, and strategic decisions for long-term growth. This new wave of automation goes far beyond cutting labor costs or streamlining workflows. It's become a strategic response to an increasingly unpredictable world. In an era defined by sudden trade policy shifts, political tensions, supply chain disruptions, and even global pandemics, businesses can no longer afford to be rigid. They need systems that allow them to pivot quickly, adapt instantly, and continue operating smoothly regardless of external shocks. Automation provides that edge. It offers the ability to shift production, reconfigure lines, or scale output without being tied to manual labor constraints or fixed geographic dependencies. From automotive plants that adjust models on the fly, to consumer electronics manufacturers managing global demand from local hubs, companies are now investing in decentralized, intelligent automation systems. Technologies that aren't just efficient, but adaptive. These systems rely on real-time data, smart robotics, cloud-based coordination, and predictive analytics to keep operations running, regardless of what's happening globally. In today's landscape, automation isn't a luxury or a future goal. It's the new baseline requirement for staying competitive and resilient in a volatile world. Trade wars may have forced the change, but automation is shaping what comes next. Is this the end of traditional supply chains, or just the beginning of a smarter model? Let us know your thoughts in the comments. Subscribe for more deep dives into automation, manufacturing, and global industry trends. And don't miss our next video on the rise of AI-driven smart factories. This video is produced by Automate, the platform connecting robot and PLC programmers with businesses building the future. Subscribe now and visit automatedeal.com to stay ahead in the world of smart manufacturing.